Okay, good evening, folks. Dr. Freedom here. We have time for some Dr. News from in and around the universe that may or make you go. Okay, and shock it all. Okay, for you folks who do not want spoilers, once again, the door is that way. Feel like I'm guiding a 767 into the terminal. What the hell? So like I said, there's going to be a spoiler warning on the video. There's going to be a spoiler warning right now. So if you watched any further beyond this point and didn't skip past straight to the news, and you'll know how to do that, because what you do is you scan one of the little YouTube thing, and when you start seeing the news articles, then you know, boom, that's where you start at if you don't want spoiled, because I got some pretty good stuff today. My buddy Steven, who lives down in Wales, was out doing some photography today in Lanharan, and let's just see what Steven captured. So here we go. Ready? 5, 4. Hear the airlock hissing. 3, 2, 1. And let's see if I can not screw this up. Oh, here we go. Boom. Steven was out there with the old Nikon today, zanging around. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. All right, here we go. And why isn't this working? You see, I hate it when it does this stuff where it's supposed to be showing me. All right, that's just one of the photos. Yeah, 3 guesses who these pretty fellas are right there. Hang on a second. Let me bring this sucker up here. Sometimes this damn program is so stubborn. Let's try this again. And wham, there we go. That's what I wanted. Yeah, you should see the size of the lens he has on that camera, you know. But he shot us some cream cake heaven today. All right, move it on back and wham. Oh, okay, that's why. Well, all right. You see, I'm still getting used to this Windows 10 stuff. And we zonk in. Obviously, Peter Capaldi, and there's David Bradley out on the set. Like I said, the thing is, people are like, it's spoilers. The thing is, all we know is this. They're out there. They're in the middle of what appears to be a battlefield, and that's it. That's all we know. There's no other information, we can glean really from this. Ooh, okay, so like I said, I've been not putting these up on the Facebook page or anything like that because people are complaining about spoilers, and I figure why not? Oh, and there's the money shot right there. He damn near whipped out a cream cake and shoved it down his pants when he saw this one come into focus. All right, how many Tardises do you see, boys and girls? If you said 2, then no, you're not drunk or delusional. You are correct. So. And also, if you zonk in on this one, there's the lovely Rachel Talalay, I don't know how they pronounce it anymore, giving some direction to David and Peter here. Unfortunately, you're going to start losing resolution as you get in closer. So boom, 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 bam, there we go. This one was a wee bit clearer, but I'm not sure everybody is on this one. All right, so once again, we got to give thanks to him down there in Wales. And there's another money shot right there. Oh, yeah. Original TARDIS, and from, I believe that's the one they used for Adventure in Space and Time. And wham, there's the TARDIS we all know and love today, sitting there side by side on my piano. Okay, so, what is that thing? Oh, there we go. Oh. What was that scary thing at the end? Sorry, I didn't mean to. It's now safe. Okay, so if you've skipped to this point, you're safe. All right. Let's get started. Let's get it started. Oh, yeah. Let's get it started. Oh, gosh, I'm really killing that tonight. Anyway, all right. Okay, we got more clips up right here. We got Steven, of course. This I showed you yesterday. This one's kind of funny. And this is, of course, Peter and whatnot, if she's giving a little introduction to the Dr. Falls. So there we go. Let's go to, so if you want to go check those clips out, they're on the BBC Clips page. There'll be a link for it down in the description box as usual. Doctor Magazine number 514 is out today, looking ahead to the Series 10 finale. It contains interviews with both masters. The 2 masters are congregating. and some boom, boom, boom. Matter of fact, one of the things I believe gets mentioned in here that was just shown me is that there could be a possibility of an announcement of new cast after the Doctor falls somewhere around July 1st. Really? Okay, so that sounded ominous, didn't it? So we'll have to keep our ears out, keep our eyes open, see what happens. Some other stuff that's in it, boom, boom, boom. Doctor Who's magazine is on sale from today for £5.99. All right, moving on. Samantha Spiro is his Doctor Who's latest heroine, Hazran, and she's at war with the Cybermen. Okay, Hazard runs an orphanage where everything appears on the surface as rather beautiful, as it's set in lovely rolling hills. We filmed it in the Welsh countryside, blah, blah, blah. The orphanage comes under attack from Cybermen, and big mayhem breaks out. Hazran is central in defending the orphanage and blah, blah, blah. I almost said orgasmanage. Sorry, how did that happen? All right, moving on. So she's got some lovely stuff she lets go here. So if you want to read what she had to say about it, hi, Oreo. Guess what? Look at the boy. He's a mutant. Oh, God, he's got me. Oh, we got to get out of here. All right. Back to the news. I also loved, all right, some really great stuff here from Samantha Spiro on her character. And that's over on What's on TV. Like I said, link below in the description box. Okay. All right. Dr. Falls preview by MYMBIS. And here's some of the stuff they had to give away. Lots of it. They'd give this one 5 out of 5 stars. It's far from perfect and not quite as good as World Enough in Time. But what works really works. The thing that really worked included the Master Missy storyline, especially its conclusion and Bill's fate and Nardal's plan. A magnificent performance from Peter Capaldi. There's a lot of action, even watching on the BBC's preview screener. With many of the effects missing or half completed, it looks spectacular. Oddly, though, while the visuals are often epic, the story it feels more personal, intense, and rather character-led than some past galaxy-threatening, reality-threatening, all-the-time threatening finales. It opens unexpectedly. It's not a straight-up follow-on from the cliffhanger and briefly looks like a sequel to another Tennant-era story, not written by Moffat completely. All right, like last week, it's a fairly linear story once again, but also like last week, some of the details about why that's happening are a little vague. Somebody name checks a lot of familiar planets and past skirmishes. There's a bucolic feel to some scenes. The Doctor quotes another previous Doctor. There's a very familiar prop from the classic series, though it looks a little more bijou than we remember. Can we say something that was missing from the Doctor experience this week, that somebody was claimed moved to another level? There's a very unexpected romance brewing, and I have an eerie feeling that involves... No. Okay. Well, somebody think of the children. A very disturbing new MO for the Cybermen is revealed. Generally, it takes their need for conversion to a vile new level. Aside from the Saxon Master, there are cameos from 2 other familiar faces from the past. To quote Kinda, it ends as it begins in more ways than one. There are some very long dialogues, but they have some very interesting visual quirks, and you will want Christmas to come early. And this is going into the rumor that not all of this gets tied up on this episode. All right. Okay, this is over on Doctor TV, and to make a long story short, he basically says, to explain, one of my favorite absolute moments in Doctor Who canon is the reappearance of Rose Tyler at the end of Partners in Crime. I still get chills seeing blah, blah, blah. The effect wouldn't have been the same as if someone had told him there's Rose Tyler cameo. So before someone tells you the equivalent of there's a Rose cameo, and it runs something really cool about the Doctor Falls, consider avoiding any site that spoiled details of last week's episode. So yes, there's some pretty familiar faces knocking on the door this week. Okay. During the episode, there are moments which cause me to cheer yes out loud, put a lump in my throat, audibly gasp, covering my mouth, almost made me come out of my seat, also as I double fist pump the air in excitement and tear up. We find out what's on floor 507, and why nothing below has ever returned. Something that reminded me of human nature, family of blood. I predict that the absolute final shot of the pre-credits teaser will become iconic. I guarantee we'll see tons of fan art recreating it. Some important background: the song that the Missy and the Master are dancing to is called "Midnight, the Stars, and You." How many times have you died? 7, 1 to 2. 8, Nardal has been useful. 9, some important background, and I'm not going all this because it's about the Alamo. And we see a lot of Pearl Mackie, but none of Bill as a human. All right, so moving on. All right, we'll see. The 13 questions we have after Doctor Who World Enough in Time. And I say there's some really, really interesting stuff, but I'm not going to hang around on this. I'll leave this for you to read. Boom, 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 for all you to read. Okay, this is the advanced review. It doesn't really give anything spoilery away, so you're fine if you want to give this a glance through over on Doctor Who TV, all right? Capaldi found Doctor Who Series 10 scenes intimidating. Okay. Lecturing to the students was challenging. That's an unusual situation to be in. It's quite theatrical. You have to walk on in front of 200 extras, so that's a bit intimidating. Although you're working the camera, you're still in front of all these people. It was very difficult because I knew there was a special effect going to be added, so I didn't know how much to do or what not to do, and that was in the making of Oxygen. So, okay. What was very strange was not making eye contact. It was the only way I could think of to act as if I couldn't see properly, but all of your instincts are to make eye contact. Otherwise, you feel you aren't giving the other actors what they might need. All right, moving on. Dr. Christmas Special promises to be beautiful, joyous, and heartbreaking. And I'm going to leave this one for you to read as well. This is over on Cult Box. It's just a nice, short little review. Does not give away too much. And this, of course, stuff from Doctor Who Magazine. And this is Blogger Who's spoiler-free preview of episode 12. And like I said, this one doesn't really give away all that much either. So you're pretty much side. There's also a little bit of trivia they added in that will well. And of course, a spoiler too far. This one I threw in for shits and giggles because announcing John Simm's Series 10 return. And like I said, I still, for the life of me, cannot figure out why they put Simm's face in the trailer for the opening of the season. Nobody knew he was there. They had pulled it off. It didn't get leaked or nothing until later when they opened the damn trailer and showed his face on it. A lot of the leaks and spoilers and all that have been coming out this year have been right out of the Radio Times and right out of the BBC. So the only ones you can blame for it this time are them. Not the set reporters, not the so-called guys like me, blah, blah, blah. And like I said, I've been giving ample spoiler warnings, so don't come to me with that, oh, you spoiled my show. Told you, it's a spoiler coming. You don't want to look at it, but I will. So, folks, until next time, I'm out of here because I hear thunder starting to land, boom, boom, boom. And I'm afraid I might lose power. That's all I need to lose power while I'm recording this. It would really suck. So, take care. Ta-ta. Good night. Have a good one. Sayonara. Ooh.